Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have missed you guys so very much. I hope you had an amazing weekend and are having a lovely day today. I'm coming back at you live with this beautiful everyday go-to makeup look. I absolutely love it. It is really flattering and natural and just really enhances all of your features already. If you want to know how to get this really beautiful glowy look, just keep on watching. So I'm here with a bare face. All I have on is my morning skincare routine, and what I like to start off first when I'm doing my makeup is the base. So I am going to be using the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Perfecting Primer. And then what I'm going to be using is the Too Faced 24 Shadow Insurance eyeshadow primer. I'll just take a little bit on my finger and I'll just put it on anywhere that I need extra, holding. So I don't want my under eye to crease, I don't want my eyeshadow to crease, and my smile lines down here. Now that we are primed and ready to go, I like to use two foundations. I'm currently really pale right now. It's winter over here and my skin has barely seen the sun. I'm going to be taking the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow foundation in shade 205 in Natural Beige. And how I like to apply this specific foundation is on a little sponge. I used to use brush. I started off with my hands and I just really like the way a sponge applies it. So I'll be mixing that with my all-time favorite, the Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua in shade 30 Beige. So I'll just be taking a little bit of the L'Oreal and I put it directly either on my hand or on my sponge. I just mix that so I get, a nicer color, because the Chanel one is currently too light for my skin and the L'Oreal is too dark for my skin. So I think mixing them is just going to give me, like that perfect match. So I'm going to just start dabbing it on my face like so. What I like to do with the foundation is just go everywhere that I'm not really going to conceal, so that my concealer later doesn't end up getting too cakey or throughout the day. So I'm just gonna lightly, blend it into my face. Any areas that need more, I'll just apply a little bit more. Just gonna take anything that's left onto my ears and down my neck. Maybelline Fit Me, it's the go-to in the color 20 Sand Beige. I like to just apply a little bit here and over here, and then again over here and over here. Cute. And I apply some on my eyelids. I just start blending from the inner corner lightly with my finger, patting it in and creating this lifted shape by going up towards the temple and the outer eye. We've been in lockdown for so long. At first I was like, oh, I forgot to do makeup, and then I did my makeup. I was like, no, we still got it. But I go through phases where I'm like, I've gone without makeup for so long that I kind of just feel prettier without makeup, which is so weird, because I think when I was like in high school, I would literally wake up early and do my makeup, crazy colors, and just really, be creative with my makeup. And I feel like now that I'm older, a little bit older, I just like to take care of more of my skin than do my makeup. But doing my makeup has always been something so therapeutic for me. I love the self-expression that I can do with it. Even if I'm just doing like a natural look, which is what I'm doing today, it's still very therapeutic. Wow, we are awake. You could not tell I have a child, could you? I'm kidding. What I like to do is take my sponge with my foundation and just blend it even more. You guys are gonna laugh, but I've been using this for so long now and I have yet to be in America and see if they still sell it in stores. So if you've seen this product, please let me know in the comments down below so that when I go back I can go get stock of it. But it is the Maybelline Dream Bouncy Blush. I've literally had this forever. I don't even know what color it is, I'm sorry, but it just is so beautiful. It's like a cream blush and it just goes on so beautifully. I take this up to the high points of my cheek and into the temple just to bring some color back to the face after we've concealed. I like to go in with this LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade GC985 in the color Espresso, and I just like to contour with this. It looks really natural, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on my cheeks. I like to put some here. I like to take a little bit down the sides of my nose and underneath my nose, and just kind of carve out like a little ball shape like that, and take a little bit here. Now this stuff is super pigmented, so I feel that you do have to work a little bit fast. So I'm just gonna take, again, my go-to sponge and start carving out my face, gently dabbing the product and blending it into the contours of my face. The nose is the trickiest part for me. I've only recently perfected how to do it. I'm just gonna continue blending it with the shape that I've done to keep the product in place. I don't want it to move around too much because that will change the shape of my nose. So I'm just gonna continue here. So now that we've contoured the face, I'm just gonna take a little bit more product and put it down here. When you are blending this out, you kind of just want your face to be in the natural position that you hold your head, because if you're gonna move, then that is gonna move as well. And you just want it to look very carved out and sharp. So I'm just blending it back and forth and bringing it down. Ooh. It might look a little bit crazy, but we're going to finish off with doing the opposite and kind of highlighting those areas that we've contoured. So the only thing I'm gonna do with my nose is take a little bit of that concealer and just put it right here on the dot and up here. And this is gonna just carve out my nose. So I'm taking my finger again and just patting it lightly. Now that we have finished all of our creams, we're gonna move on to powders. I like to use creams first and then powders to really set them. And I find that if I use a cream after powder, things just get to look really cakey. So I'm using the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. I'm taking it on a small Eco Tools brush, and I'm just gonna be making sure that everywhere I apply it is very blended so it doesn't, you know, bulge up or become cakey. So I'm just gonna lightly pat it under the eyes, underneath where I've contoured as well, just to bake it a little bit. Anywhere that I may get a little bit more oily throughout the day. On top of my eyelid so that the concealer we have put becomes a really nice base for our eyeshadow. And moving on to bronzing up the face, I'm going to be using the Milani Brow Fix Brow Kit. If you know me, you know I love this product. I'm just going to be taking the Bare Minerals Flawless Face brush, the small fluffy brush, because when I'm bronzing, I like to be very precise, as if I'm contouring, but just to warm up the face exactly where I want it. So I like to take these two shades right here, just lightly brush through that, dabbing it on and lightly blending it up. So just gonna blend it up here. This product has no shimmer, so it really just bronzes up the face very nicely, going over everywhere that we've contoured. If I was wearing an open shirt, I would contour my collarbones as well because I love that look. When I'm doing thin areas like my nose or over here, I like to pinch the sides of the brush and just bring them gently across where I have contoured, as well as over here to deepen that shape, and bring it down my neck onto the ears, and we are bronzed. After that, I'm going to using the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Party. This is that color. And I'm just gonna lightly tap my brush into it and continue on those high points of the cheeks. Bring it up into the temples and across my nose. Now that we're done with the face, I'm going to move on to eyes. I am using the Tartelette in Bloom palette by Tarte. I love this. They have the prettiest neutral colors ever. I'm going to start off by taking the shade Flower Child and just lightly patting it on a fluffy eyeshadow brush and just dab it all over my eyelid. I'm going to use that as my base color. I'm taking the shade Smarty Pants, again on a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to bring it across that contour shape that we did on the lash line and into the crease. I'm starting in the deepest part of the crease and lightly blending up so that we have a nice blend. Take a little bit more of the shadow. So it looks something like that. Do it to the other eye. Same thing, Smarty Pants. Drag it across the eye. I like my face to look very lifted and awake. So I'm just gonna drag that out a little bit so it has a point. Bring it into the deepest part of my crease in a windshield wiper motion and slowly blend up towards the eyebrow. Take a little bit of Rebel, same kind of brush, and just put it right towards the outer corner. I like to use this to just darken up the eyes a little bit, bring it towards the lash line, out into that V shape again, and windshield. Taking whatever is left on the brush underneath the eye, not taking it all the way towards the eye, but just halfway. Gonna take Smarty Pants again on my brush and just lightly blend it towards the eyebrow so that it is a little bit less harsh. I'm gonna be using a flat eyeshadow brush and my setting spray, lightly spraying that and going into the shade Firecracker. It's like a beautiful copper bronze. And what I'm gonna do is just lightly pat it on the middle of my eyes. Now that our eyeshadow is pretty much done, we are gonna move up to the eyebrows. And if you saw my last video, then you kind of have an inside scoop and know how to do this. So what we're gonna do is brush up my eyebrow hairs into the shape that I kind of want them to be already. And I'm using the Furrowcious brow pencil in the shade Dark Brown. This is by theBalm. I love this. You guys know that. So underneath the eyebrow, really lightly here at the beginning, towards the middle, finish up at the tail, extend it a little bit, and then lightly make hair-like strokes. And then I take pencil, go above my eyebrow, and finish up that shape. And now you can see the difference between the filled-in brow. Looks really nice and put together. This one also looks nice and put together, but this is just a lot more defined and full. Gonna do the same to the other brow. Taking the Great Lash in clear and just lightly brushing them into shape, making it a little fluffier at the beginning. One has gone down, so if the lighting has changed, that is why. And now that our eyebrows are in place, we are gonna go back to that under eye bake that we used. I'm taking the same brush that I used before and just gonna lightly dust it off. Going back into the eyes after I've done them, and I'm going to use the same Tarte eyeshadow palette that I was using before. It's this beautiful golden champagne color. I like to use this with setting spray, placing it right underneath the eyebrows. Usually I'll take the shade Charmer and put it under. It's just this clean white, but today I'm feeling glowy. I've yet to find a better mascara than the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is in the shade Blackest Black. However, I'm really enjoying this mascara by Loreal. I like to mix these two together. Now that we have done our eyelashes, the only thing that we have left is to highlight and do our lips, of course. So I'm going back into that Tarte palette, putting the shade Funny Girl in the inner corner of the eyes. I think that is so beautiful. Look at that. And just lightly highlight this again. Go over the eyebrows again. And if you want to be a little extra, we can put it on the right in the center of our eyelids. I usually like to use that Anastasia That Glow Kit. A few years ago, everyone was raving about this palette, and honestly, I'm just so obsessed with the Tarte palette that Funny Girl is just the most beautiful shade to kind of just highlight all over your face. Although it is glittery, when you put it on your face, you can see it's just very shimmery, and you don't see any glitter particles, and I really enjoy that. I'm gonna take a clean highlighting brush. I like to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. NYX Dewy Finish setting spray I've been using throughout this whole video. Spray it on my brush, go into Funny Girl, lightly dab it, and just go to the highest points of my cheeks. Now, oof, girl, I'm obsessed. Highlighting is everything and more. If this isn't therapeutic, then I don't know what is. Just going into the highest points of my face. Again, if I was wearing an open shirt, then I would, you know, do the collarbones to get them really snatched and pretty. And in person, it really does look like this as well. Whenever the light hits, it's just super shiny and not glittery at all, which is really beautiful. And I think that's what you want a highlighter to be doing. And now we're gonna move on to our lips. I'm gonna be using the Kat Von D Everlasting Lip Liner in the shade OG Lolita, and go into my Bare Minerals Gen Nude Lip Gloss in the shade Everything, and the shade is literally everything. So that is it. This is what the final look looks like. I love the way it catches the light. I love the way it just, you know, enhances all of your features. It's very suitable on all skin types, all eye colors. Looks good in the winter and the summer. And I'm just obsessed with this lip gloss, you guys. That is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you go ahead and try to recreate this look, of course, tag me and send them my way. You can follow me on Instagram, and I would love to share your looks. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up, comment down below, and of course, subscribe to my channel for more videos. Also, I just have to say thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It is such a big milestone for me. And if 100 people were standing right next to me right now, 100 of you, I would literally be in the clouds. So thank you so much. I love you guys so, so much from the bottom of my heart. And I'm excited for this journey together. Love you guys. Wishing you an amazing week, and see you next time. Bye.